That is not.
But I wanted to hear about it.
No, it's not part of this. We will discuss
It was
this after the
stated,
meeting.
and I want to
It's not the.
Okay.
be on record
Thank
about
you.
it.
Okay, you,
Okay.
okay, you are on.
We never discussed it either, so I want the public to know that. I want people to know
Can we have a
that.
motion?
I'd like to make a motion to amend the bylaws of the organization.
Second.
Do you need a second from the floor, or do you need a second?
Anywhere.
I'll second it.
We're all members. Okay, so we'll open the floor to debate. Is there anyone who'd like to? Anyone?
Hi, I'm speaking on behalf of all park moms, to say that park moms will vote no, to change the GWAPP bylaws. The use of this historically respected and influential GWAPP name by a handful of new individuals selected behind closed doors, following totally new operating guidelines, which have no mention or mandate of a broader community participation, could create a situation of unfairness, which we do not think is healthy for our community. We propose that GWAPP do one of the following: dissolve completely, no longer use the GWAPP name in a new organization, continue to be a member organization with an active member list, and amend the less cumbersome meeting and voting schedule requirements, or merge with another community organization. We hope that other member organizations will also consider in casting a vote no. Park Moms appreciates the hard work and dedication of all people involved with GWAPP, past and present. Thank you, Park Moms.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, in the back.
Yes, I've only been living here since 2010. I've been getting a lot of emails about a lot of things that are going on here with the BP. Now I got the email from the Greenpoint waterfront. Do we have any influence about this Greenpoint landing, getting the park that we were supposed to get? Is this any influence? I mean, do we have any role in that? That's why I'm
That
You
is,
can talk about that after the meeting.
After the meeting, we could talk about it. This is only about the bylaws, I'm sorry.
It's a good question, but
It's
it's
a very good question.
not on the motion. Yes.
Yeah, Neil Sheen from Defense Paul Society, Schenectady. I would urge people to vote in favor of the motion. I was involved from the beginning. As to the historic name, I think it was already pointed out, the name has changed twice. And had two different versions. And I think the original entity was focused on broad-based specific issue. And a lot of the founding members were very active and passionate. I think it was a wonderful time in the community when people came together. And I think that the motion essentially creates a more traditional organization for doing the kinds of business that Dewey has laid out, conducting regular business. I don't see it as simply an advocacy organization, which is what we were originally. So I would just urge folks to vote yes, and I think the idea of replenishing the board and having new blood and having term limits in the bylaws as they're created would make a lot of sense and allow for a lot of participation over time. So vote yes, early and often.
I'd just like to clear up a misconception about the GWAPP history that you just told us about. The original GWAPP was Greenpoint Williamsburg against power plants. It fought one power plant, the Con Ed plant. When the TGE plant came along, at the same time, in fact, I think a week or two after TGE filed their application, GWAPP changed its name to Greenpoint Waterfront Association about parks and planning. So that's, yeah, well, you can look at your corporation dates.
No.
So, but I'm just trying to clarify. You can.
Just state it's in written form, we can't change it.
Yeah. But it's an important point because, as Neil is pointing out, that it was a group that originally fighting a power plant with one mission. Then, as TGA came along, for whatever reasons, good or bad, I don't want to make a judgment there. It changed its focus, is the word you use, to parks and planning. It was simultaneously with the TG application. Why is that important? It's kind of important to me because you're reciting a history that is false, and it just makes me wonder, why, you should be secure in your history. So, and finally, just on this broader discussion, I would totally support GWAPP, say as a member organization, or there were several other, I think that's the beauty of an organization, is that in a way it is accountable to its member orgs, to its people, that are responsible of putting out the word to the rest of the community. It's the legacy of the group, and I think it's very unclear to me especially, because I've had less than 2 days really to understand this whole thing, because you haven't reached out to the public. And the public is really wired here.
So that's 2 minutes.
Can everyone hear me? I'm Laura Hoffman, I'm part of Barge Park Pals, Friends of Newtown, and Barge Playground. My husband and I were members of GWAPP from the very beginning, from the power plant days. And even though, I understand completely that it's very hard to run an organization and stuff, because I was part of the board. But a big problem is that, and part of the reason why we fell off of the board was because there were a lot of decisions being made in ways that we didn't approve of, you know? And this is a big issue where there hasn't been community input, and board members have been representing the community, you know, on big issues. My name, our organization name, is on a letter here in support of the boathouse at a time when we were not members. I'm only sitting in this chair right now because I raised holy hell that we got a letter with our name on the letterhead dated February 24th, and we haven't been members since 2011. So I think everybody should know about this, because basically we're going to be giving, it's going to be like a MasterCard to make decisions for the community without our input.
Right now, the board is 1-year terms, and then it's going to shift to 3-year terms. How's that transition happening, and where are the board members going to come from? What's the
There's a
supervision
nomination
here?
committee, which is going to describe. He's on there's a nominating committee that's made up from the old board that's going to choose new board members.
But you didn't follow the 1 year. You guys have had the same people on for 5 years. So how do we believe that you're going to follow that?
Well, no, the bylaws don't have any expiration. They don't have any term limits.
They're moving into 3 years, but they've had the same people for 5.
But you can have, if you don't have a term limit, then you can do it. That's, I think actually, you know, GWAPP as a group of groups, served a great purpose for things like the power plant, but it's a very hard model to keep up. Most of the groups that existed disappeared when the issue disappeared. The Northbrook Alliance did fantastic things. GWAPP as a member organization was a member of another member organization, and then dissolved after 2005. So it's somebody who's on a more traditional board-based community group. I certainly sympathize. But yeah, my question was really
Can you say who you are?
Board Dennis with that.
I'm sorry, what was your question?
My question was really, I guess, about the sort of governance transition and what the vision for the board in the future is.
The
That's out of order, I'll wait.
I think we should wait. Yeah, I think we should get through this debate, and then there's a transition plan at the board.
Because it'll only function depending on the
Created.
board.